Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just K. Thank you for joining me again for part 2 of the chat about spirituality and religion with my daughter. Ask someone coming from the younger generations, how do you view my videos? Not as my mother. As my, she is my mother. Not as my daughter, but as, just say you're just coming on and watching the videos. And I know I'm asking a lot, asking you to not be partial, but.
Yeah. How do I feel about your videos?
Like, so in the content and in general, do I do it in a manner that your generation can understand?
Yeah.
I hope my generation understands it too. The goal is to take away the spookism for some of these things that our ancestors practiced over and over and over again, and taking away the spookism and having an understanding of these things is really how you achieve spiritual health, because ultimately you harness certain energies, you protect yourself from other ones. It's really the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. I feel like my generation,
I'm so proud of your all's generations. I'm just gonna be real.
Of course, like I'm a millennial, by the way, just in case. It's not Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a millennial.
Yes.
And I feel like my generation is definitely more open to finding our own spirituality and not see, because again, there's nothing wrong with Christianity. I think the problem is feeling like that's the only thing, and that's the only right way.
Right. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
There's literally more than one way to count to 9. There's so many different options, and I feel like that was the thing. And so I would argue that it's not my generation that really needs to be taught or like comforted in that respect.
I don't feel like your generation needs to be taught. I do feel like there is an aspect of comfort that your generation needs. Mm-hmm. So your generation is a generation opening our eyes to all of this. Mm-hmm. But the problem is when you learn a truth, right, then you don't trust anything else. And so when you learn a truth and it shakes a foundation enough for you to not trust anything, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you fight everything, right?
Yeah, because you're getting all these conflicting.
Because you're getting all these
things. Yeah.
So here's where the older person, the elder person who's always giving you good advice or who is special to you in your family comes in, and here's where the respecting your elders and honoring your ancestors come in, because we've been through these kind of things over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. I don't know how many, let me see, at least 3, I would say.
End of the world.
End of the world scenarios I've been through. While I will agree with anyone who says the things going on now are different, right? Because our eyes have been opened up to so much, I would disagree with the fact that it's more scary. So for those of us in the older set, this is now where we stand up on our knowledge and we guide our young people, not in their decisions and in their choices of spirituality or anything else in life, but just simple how to choose your battles and when to just chill and relax.
I agree.
And more importantly, protecting your energy, harnessing that energy that brings wealth, prosperity, and protecting from that energy that is not perfect, that brings on calamity. Mm-hmm. And so that's the goal here. Mm-hmm. I don't think our younger generation needs to be contained, controlled, or pulled in line. I feel like that's one of the problems, and that's one of the reasons we're here.
Because you don't give the younger generation enough credit.
Right. And because of that, I feel like there are a lot of people, there are some, I'm not going to say a lot, there were those in the younger generation who believe that your ancestors and your elders didn't do enough, and that's why we are here today. When I would actually beg to differ, right? There have been, for all of the stories you know of people from whatever culture rising up against a thing, there are 10 more at least that you don't know about.
Absolutely.
Right? And I want you to think about that in today's culture, whether we are talking about coronavirus and the vaccines, whether we're talking about what's going on in the government, whatever we're talking about. If there's a public instance of a thing happening, then I promise you, from my 50 years in this world, there are so many other instances that are not publicized of that thing.
Absolutely.
Right? And so what you got to do is you pay attention to a specific thing, and everybody's being consistent saying that specific thing, then you really pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a quick example. The stock market. You invest in stocks. So you're aware of this whole GameStop thing going on. How do you feel about that? Are you nervous? Are you upset? I know that you didn't do the GameStop thing, but you still have stocks invested. Mm-hmm. And in Robinhood. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. But you've got this spiritual knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Not worried, not stressed?
No. I mean, no. I don't. No. I'm not worried. I'm not stressed. This is what stock markets do. I mean, this is some grimy stuff happening as far as these hedge fund people and whatnot. But I mean, that's the stock market. Why are we surprised? No, we're not surprised that people play by their own set of rules. Right. At a certain point. Like, it is what it is. What we should be doing is playing by their game, playing a good defense. Like, we know that because of this, the stock market's gonna drop or whatever. So we buy in the red and we keep it pushing. Like, we are not stressed.
Yeah, I wish The Art of War would have been a book that you were required to read in school. Mm-hmm.
Why? They would never.
They would not
put The Art of War in school.
The Art of War. I can't even remember who it's by at this point. But I'm gonna look it up.
I don't want to butcher the name.
Right, I'll look it up and I'm gonna put it in my description. Read The Art of War. It's a good. It gives you tips on how to get through these things going on in the world. Because what you got to understand is these things happening aren't new. They're not new. These things have been going on for years, decades, centuries. The only thing that's different is in the age of social media, right? Now all of these things are coming to light and being shared with the masses. Mm-hmm. That has to happen in order for change to happen. Right? Mm-hmm. Right. And in order to strike change with a solid foundation, change that's lasting, you have to be smart about it. You can't go off and react in emotion, right? There's a time for it, but you can't always react in emotion. So ground yourself spiritually. If you ground yourself spiritually, I promise you the ancestors will let you know when it's your battle and when it's not. Not only that, you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do. You know that tea they make for everybody when they're sick? Yeah. Do you know where that tea came from?
The ancestors.
Yeah. Your grandmother. Your great-grandmother. I'm sorry. My grandmother, your great-grandmother. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And she's been dead for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's been gone for quite a few years. But she brought that knowledge to me that I didn't even think about until all of this COVID stuff started hitting.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, I need to do this. Mm-hmm. It's important. The takeaway is that spirituality is vitally important, whether you do that from a religious standpoint or just a spiritual standpoint. If you practice Christianity, that's good. Practice it. But understand that you're your salvation, right? Hinduism, Muslim, all of that. Practice it. If that's what grounds you, ground yourself in your spirituality and understand that if your mind, soul, and body are not right in sync, you're not right. And that's what this time period is calling for us all to get right and bring about higher knowledge of this world. This world's not going anywhere. I know it looks like it is sometimes, but it's looked like it has been a lot of other times to me before. So let's do this together, guys. Let's be healthy, happy, and prosperous together. Let's honor our ancestors. Let's bring back our cultures. I don't care what culture you come from. Honor your ancestors. Okay? Honor your ancestors. If you want to get through the things that are going on in this world today, take care of your mind. Practice self-care. Practice meditation. Take care of your soul. Make sure that you're being spiritual. It doesn't have to be religious, just being spiritual, meaning honor and appreciate not just yourself and the people around you, but the things and the environment around you as well. And take care with what you put in your body, because right now especially, that might be the thing that will help you if you and when you get sick. That's all for today, guys. In our next video, I'm going to go in and we're going to talk about some of the things that our ancestors did to understand these energies that we keep talking about. What's going on in your next video? Something
I'm
good.
not sure, guys.
Something good. But remember, you can follow her on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
I post new videos on YouTube every week. If you want to check me out, just saying.
And I'm sure in one of her future videos, she's going to be thanking me for all them good genes. That's all for now. Until next time.